Hello and welcome to this webinar on America's Seed Fund powered by NSF, formerly known as the NSF SBIR STTR program. I'm going to refer to it simply as the SBIR program, but you can assume that this also includes STTR. So in this webinar, we're going to focus on the project pitch process that was implemented in early 2019. The NSF SBIR program is focused on funding startup and early stage companies to develop transformative, high-risk technologies that have the potential to be commercially disruptive and societally impactful. Each year, the program awards about $200 million in R&D funding to startups and early stage companies. A company that receives Phase 1 and Phase 2 funding plus the major supplements will leave the program having received about $1.5 million in non-dilutive funding. It's important to appreciate that the program funds projects in almost all technology areas and has a broad range of inclusive topics as shown in this slide. Since NSF doesn't buy anything from our SBIR grantee companies, we also don't tell them what to develop. It's up to an applicant company to identify a market need and propose development of a new technical innovation to meet that need. This slide shows 2018 funding in the NSF SBIR program broken down by broad topic areas. As you can see, there is significant funding in each of these areas. So I'd like to highlight just a few of our grantee companies to emphasize the point that the program funds across a very broad range of technology areas. This slide shows 6 current or former SBIR grantees. So very briefly, Ecovative Design grows materials such as packaging from mushrooms. Thousand Eyes delivers network intelligence to users on any network. Unspun is basically reinventing apparel with an additive manufacturing process that builds clothes custom tailored for the user. Sealer Nanotechnologies is developing technologies to improve battery performance. Diligence Robotics creates robot assistants that assist people with chores so they can focus on what they care most about. And Ginkgo Bioworks uses genetic engineering to produce bacteria for industrial applications. It's important to appreciate that the program is focused on funding small, young companies, most of whom have not previously received SBIR funding. Our objective is to apply the funds where they will have the greatest impact and really move the needle for the grantee companies. Measuring success of the program is actually very difficult, but based on public data, we know that between 2013 and 2018, there were at least 97 successful exits, and our portfolio companies raised in total $7.2 billion in follow-on equity funding. So, how does the program work? The program has 2 phases of funding, and all companies entering the program must first apply to Phase 1. We do not offer a direct to Phase 2 option. Phase 1 funding is aimed at establishing technical feasibility of the proposed innovation, but in a commercial context. Phase 2 is a continuation of Phase 1 and focuses on pre-commercialization R&D, for example, R&D towards building prototypes and undertaking pilot programs with commercial partners. A number of supplements are available to Phase 2 companies, the largest being the Phase 2B supplement, which is a 1-for-2 match of third-party investments and sales revenues up to a maximum match of $500,000. So, how do you apply to the program? Well, the required first step now is to submit a brief 2 to 3 page project pitch so that we can determine whether your project appears to be a good fit with the program. In the pitch, you will need to provide brief information regarding the innovation, the technical objectives and technical challenges, the market opportunity, and the team. A pitch can be submitted at any time, although you can only have 1 pitch under review at a time. After 3 weeks or less, you will receive feedback indicating whether your project is a fit with the program. If your project appears to be a fit with the program, you'll receive an invitation to submit a full proposal. Invited proposals can be submitted at any time. The previous submission deadlines have been replaced by open submission windows. If your project is not a fit, you will receive feedback indicating why, and if you believe you can address the concerns, you'll be able to submit a revised pitch. The purpose of this new process is primarily to reduce the burden on proposing teams who will be spared the effort of preparing a full proposal if their project is not a good fit with the program. If you have any questions about the project pitch process, please feel free to write to us at the email address on this slide. Thank you for listening.